What I would like to do is I would like to reframe the word things, because
and then of course everything since then, but it really has been, I don't think there's any script to the journey. It's just
the big data issue. How do you do that across an entire enterprise?
So let me, I know it's been a long day for you, so I'll start with the breaking news for you. The breaking news is that
with 2, if you press 2 there, you can give feedback for the sessions in the morning, especially the main.
This marketing plan included email campaigns, continuous social media streaming, management of web.
Who in this hall does not know what Infosys? If you don't know, just look at your lanyard. Let's play his speech. Thank you.
Entrepreneurship and being an innovator is still somehow a mystical thing. But
that when they pursue something that's new, different, that nobody has ever done before.
In the valley there is a lot of money right now, but I think what is missing is the unique perspective of an enterprise company.
This has always had, I think, I don't know how many people have actually visited our campus.
True kind of volunteer. He not only conceives the program, but he implements it, takes full responsibility for it, and he has been doing it year after year after year, refining it with incremental understanding of every year. So now TIE 50 has become a global brand thanks to his ingenuity, thanks to his persistence, and
6 years ago to now, 68% of those are still active companies growing. So that's another track record we have to say.
This year, and we'll be back again next year. I wanted to thank Ty. One of the things we had talked.
Thank you. So we are going to start. I'm going to read the Absito. Aviso. Avaji. B-Spot. Cognicor.
Let's hear some guitar.
Sapiens helps you to better manage your time by making you more aware of where your time is going. We watch the different activities that you're doing throughout the day, particularly online when you're on your computer. We build a personal dashboard showing you how much time is going into things like communication versus your core tasks, like maybe you're using a Salesforce or something, so we can categorize that that's like documentation or an example.
So how does Tycon help?
So Tycon helps us with this by helping us reach out into a market of people that are interested in new concepts and ideas, as well as connecting with established enterprises that are here looking for those new concepts and ideas.
Once you start using it, then
Cheers.
you will not.
Alright, so what does your company do? What are you guys doing?
So yeah, this is a new app we've launched like 3 days ago. It's called MomRef, which stands for Google Referral. It's a brand new way of discovering businesses and services, right? So typically if you're looking for a dentist, you can go to Yelp or Google and it'll give you all the dentists in the area, a huge listing, right? But sometimes you only go to a dentist when a friend recommends it to you. Right, so that's what MomRef does exactly. You go to the app and you search for a dentist. Instead of giving you a listing of all the dentists, it will give you the names of friends who know dentists themselves. And then you can ask a friend for help and then he can refer the contact back to you. Right, so that's how it does.
How does Tycon help with this?
Sorry? Oh yeah, so we picked this event to launch the app. Okay, so we just launched like 2 days ago. We have about 50 downloads now. It's a great avenue to start off something new, get the people know. Because the first 50 guys who download your app, you want them to be like really guys who are into technology, right? Because when they'll use it, they'll give you a great feedback. They'll tell their friends about it. They are like the early adopters. That's why we picked this space.
We make multimedia content creation on your mobile device and distribution in 5 minutes or less. So you can integrate picture, audio, video, and text, and create content entirely from your phone and distribute it to anyone at any time from anywhere in under 5 minutes.
So how will Tycon help you?
Tycon is a fascinating place here. It's my first visit to Tycon. Our first presence here. We're an Arizona-based company. We meet several great people here, luminaries and entrepreneurs, and it's exciting and exhilarating to just be here, talk to them, and get their mind shared and engagement work. So it's great.
Alright, so what is your company doing?
So our company, which is Sapien, is providing next generation identity and access governance solutions to Fortune 2000 client base.
So how does Tycon help with this?
So the reason why we're here at Tycon is it just gives us an opportunity to network with other small companies. We are a small company, and it's a great opportunity to meet some of the other like-minded companies in terms of where they are in the stage of growth. And there's definitely advantages in making new contacts and being able to leverage those contacts as we continue to grow the company.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
So what is your company doing?
We make a private Dropbox solution which gives you security for files that are too sensitive to be put on a public cloud or outside the office. So our product is used by governments, banks and hospitals to store file inside the office or in their data center, but still have access to it on mobile devices for all their users with security.
So how is Tycon helping?
We're here to meet a select number of, our product is used by large organizations, so this is not a product for everybody, but we are here to meet some key people, some of whom we have invited to come and visit, and of course we're hoping that some you will meet by just being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So what is your company doing?
Our company is providing a learning tool for students, a teaching tool for teachers, and also an educational tool for parents. It is providing extended learning by providing over 10,000 problems and solutions for middle school, high school, and college level students.
So how does Tycon help?
It's helping us in the sense we are getting a lot more visibility. This gives us a chance to talk about our product, and we are hoping that it will be, enhance the marketing process.
Thank you very much. So basically, what is your company about?
So Parity is a gender bias ranking app for research. So what we do is
How does Taikon
Oh, okay, so right now you're suffering from
to our fellow business partners? We need to get a word out about our applications, but also we can try and find investors or suggestions on how to better market
So what is the company about? So we're creating a mobile marketplace for the internet marketing ecosystem. So currently the ecosystem is very traditional and as well as artificial. So what we're doing is trying to remove that by connecting all the stakeholders, so the farmers, the buyers, the equipment and neighborhood providers, so they can interact with one another, negotiate deals with one another and finally transact. So for instance, if a farmer is wanting to sell a crop, we allow this platform, buyers from across the country get in touch with them for the sale, and they have a negotiation process that we find in
So how does Taikon help?
The Taikon is great because this basically is the right mix of people with experience by data and applications. So we get to meet like-minded people who are interested in agriculture, specifically in agriculture, as well as people who have the experience having done something like this.
Thank you very much.
So much.
So what is your company about?
We are S5 Advisory. We are a commercial brokerage, so we have scope-based distinguishers that we represent tenants, we don't represent the clients. We help find their office space.
So how does Taikon help?
Well, one, they're our client. Two, so they introduce us there. A lot of startups that we help fund and find their offices, and then they grow and help them as they expand and find their office space.
Something like Yelp, trustworthy and more efficient. It's basically Yelp for the network of friends of friends, and other people who have the same taste as you.
So how does Taikon help?
Taikon helps with raising awareness among professionals, so we're getting exposure. A lot of executive professionals come here and see our introductions.
Thank you very much.
Reviewed and still we don't have clarity, but nevertheless, whatever is the final outcome that happens, we are buying power every day. In fact, every day we buy almost 800 to 1000 megawatts of power.
Is really reinvent something and think of a better way to do something. That's what we did at Levi's. It started with really just technology and innovation. We wanted to make sure that Levi's Stadium was kind of the physical manifestation of Silicon Valley. We wanted to focus on technology and innovation. And I talk about entrepreneurship, and ironically, everything that we did at Levi's. But what I can tell you is really, follow these three things. And first is, you really have to make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. You really have to make sure that if you're passionate about something, you don't know how many hours. You're being paid back money. So for those of you who didn't hear, her question is, what if your passion doesn't pay and she's interested in poetry? Look, rewards and success. Actually, I just extended Kaepernick's contract 6 years. Good news for you. So he signed until 2021, right around the time that you could be our quarterback. Great, let's give Parada a round of applause. Thank you.
So, not more than a year ago, I closed my gym and I did a whole shift from speaking about. I have more networks of people that I've met over the years that I ever could have thought I would, because I don't have a problem asking questions, finding things out. So when I push forwards, I know on the far side of my forwards is success that I'm looking for now. So if you guys take nothing from this, think about this one concept. You're going to have situations, maybe this can scale. So I convinced my dad to build what we called the Mouse Hotel, which is a dresser of aquarium. There's 6 of them. I wish I had a picture of it. I don't. 6 aquariums all in drawers. Each aquarium was divided into 4 sections. Each section had a mouse couple in them. And we were manufacturing mice.
web. At any given time, we have between, I don't know, 60 and 100 mice. And I would be pulling in between, 30 and 50 bucks a week, which for, 11-year-old is actually pretty cool. All of this came to a screeching halt when it worked or not, but they would sell them for like $5 a pop. And you'd be able to bid on them and, as the highest bidder win the auction. So I took my mouse money and I started buying up some computers and then I would assemble them, and too many computer systems into one outlet may cause an electrical fire in around at least 6 months. The third thing though is that you can take pieces and assemble pieces from different parts that you think about the thing that you want to create. In this case, people wanted cheap computers. They wanted used computers. They wanted
to go and get 100 people hired up, but before I jump and go and start hiring, what's the step one in thinking?
In that immediately a well-paid engineer or designer or even product manager.
So what does the company do?
So Cartogram helps people find things indoors, and we do that with live, interactive, searchable indoor maps right on your smartphone. So basically, we go out to the business, we serve as a vehicle for the business to get their indoor maps and their indoor map content to users or to event attendees, to retail stores, so that those people can find the things that they think are relevant inside the venue.
So how does Tycon help?
Tycon is a great platform for us. We see a lot of startup companies here. We have a startup company as well. We see a lot of energy in terms of investors, entrepreneurs, and other startup companies. So we've had literally people coming here every minute asking us about our company and providing asking a lot of great questions and providing a lot of positive feedback. And so I feel Tycon is one of the best platforms. As a startup, this is the conference. So we love it.
People have good ideas. Like people have come up to us with some ideas, and I'm like, wow, I'm totally going to do that. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that the ideas that we get from the people who come to our booth are just as valuable as like the networking, and the investor relationships that we can make from this.
So what's this company about?
Our company is a company involved in providing solutions to the problem of urban mobility. We do that by creating electric two-wheel vehicles. We have our electric scooter, and we also have a line of electric bicycles.
So how much do these cost?
Sure. The cost on the electric bicycle is $1,500, and the electric scooter has an introductory price of $3,000.
And how about maintenance?
Maintenance, our bike has a 2-year warranty on it. Our scooter has a 3-year warranty. As long as you're within our service area, something goes wrong with the bike, we hop in one of our service vans and we come out and service the vehicle at your convenience.
How does Tycon help?
Tycon helps, it really gets us a lot of awareness in the marketplace with all the Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, people who are very key to our business and our demographic.
So WellQ is a visitor signing software. So if you go to companies, usually they ask you to sign in on something like this. So we put everything in the iPad, and so the visitor would come in and sign in with their information. We can take their pictures. We can have them sign NDAs directly on the iPad. We'll send a notification to the employee saying that there is someone that you've been here, right? And so that's WellQ.
Is there any cost to this?
So right now it's early pricing, so it's $79 per month per location.
How does Tycon help?
So for us, we launched not too long ago. It's about 2.5 months ago, and so it's a good way for us to put our brand out there and to talk to other entrepreneurs and learn about the other market opportunities.
Thank you. Business Entrepreneur Academy for young people starting at age 11 to 15, and then we also have 16 to 19-year-old all of us and how curious and wonderfully gifted our young people really are.
15 years from now, if I have an accident, I do not want a human being operating on me. Because the human beings will be as competent as those human drivers up the road and then operates on you. Whereas robotic surgeons will be a lot more precise, a lot more accurate, and they will be able to do the job much better than any human being can do. This is already becoming possible. Intuitive Surgical, which is a Silicon Valley-based company, is already marketing a pretty sophisticated device. Watch it become autonomous and not require the human being. Brain-computer interfaces. Those devices are being operated by people who don't have the facilities to operate devices themselves. In other words, to the brain. It won't be long before we have BCI interfaces, brain-computer interfaces, by which we can now operate machinery, and we start reading our thoughts in gentle ways. But that's nothing compared to the big revolution to come, genomics. The human genome was sequenced about 14, 15 years ago. It cost about $3 billion. Now a complete human genome sequence costs about $1,000. At the rate at which technology is advancing, sometime in 2020 or so, I'll come up here and show you my iPhone case in which you can do a complete human genome sequence. The price will be practically zero to do genomic sequencing. The significance of this is it will become software, that the bits and the bytes that make us up have been deciphered, decoded, and they can be programmed like IT systems can be programmed. We're headed into an era of genomic medicine where healthcare is tailored to the needs of the individual based on genomic information. And medications are prescribed based on that. Not on the dumb factors of speaking to a physician and him pretending to look at notes that he took last time you were there and then prescribe the same stupid medications to you. It will be based on who we are, what we are, and how we behave. The 2020s that we're talking about. And then printed organs bionic enhancement. That beautiful lady over there is Amanda Boxtel, a friend of mine, who had a skiing accident about 20 years ago. Now she dreamed of skiing, except Steve will not cost $6 million, he will cost $6,000. We're headed into an era of bionics and human enhancements. This is taking us into the Star Trek future, to what we dreamed about when we were young. I know that I used to dream about Captain Kirk's communicator, the tricorder, that medical device that could scan you and tell you how you were doing, replicators that you saw, universal translators where you can go to any planet and everyone speaks English to you, virtual displays, holodecks, and so on. This is what we dreamed about. We didn't get them. Actually, we did get some of these things. Captain Kirk's communicator didn't play music, receive email, surf the web. Did you ever see Kirk checking email on his communicator? It didn't talk to him. But Siri does talk to him. Siri takes photos. What we have today is better than what Captain Kirk had on Star Trek. The only difference is it doesn't talk across planets, but give it time and it will. What we have is better than the Star Trek communicator. The 3D printers are version 0.1 of the replicators we saw in Star Trek. Wait till version 3.0 and it will look pretty much like what you saw in Star Trek. The tricorder, there's an X prize for $10 million in which the results will be announced in about 2 years or so, and there are several companies, including one in Silicon Valley called Scanadu, that are competing for it. I'm most impressed with the company that I'm watching in India, which has actually built a product called the Swasthaya Slate that can do 33 medical tests. They've added another 100 medical tests to it. The device is inelegant and not ready for prime time yet, except it's being used on 2.5 million people in Jammu and Kashmir. Give it 2 or 3 years, and that will be more advanced than any medical tricorder built in the USA. It's on its way. 5 years and we will have iPhone-like devices that are the tricorders we saw in science fiction. If not 5 years, 10 years. It's not 50 years. It's not 15 years either. The tricorder is not that far away. Universal translator. Microsoft is already adding features to Skype by which you can do instant translation. It's version 0.1 right now. I won't need to come here physically, I'll be able to beam on stage inexpensively from my home. The holodeck is coming. We'll have virtual reality facilities in which we feel like we're already there. Virtual displays. Google Glass was withdrawn a few months ago. I won't be surprised if within the next week or two, Google doesn't release Creative Blown Away. That is a Facebook by which your atoms are beamed from one place to another part of the galaxy within milliseconds. It's becoming possible, but again, this is not something I would ever want to experiment with. Flying cars, we dreamed about flying cars, we never got them. Well, they're also coming. This is a Czech-made flying car, which actually works pretty well. Not that far away. So a lot of good is happening. There's also a dark side to everything I talked about. I mean, I keep focusing in my talks about the bright side, in which it's not about the acquisition of wealth anymore. It's about uplifting humanity, about bettering mankind. Because the future, the price of everything will drop. We'll be able to synthetically produce meat. We'll be able to 3D print our daily needs. The cost of everything won't be based on the complexity of the object. It'll be per pound. So you'll print your iPhones by pounds, essentially. This is the future we're rapidly heading into. It's amazing what we can make of it. But we could also have a Mad Max future in which we destroy ourselves. We use technology for evil. This is why I keep encouraging entrepreneurs to solve real problems and to think big. Because what's become possible now is for entrepreneurs to solve the grand challenges of humanity. To do what only big research labs and big governments could do before in solving grand problems. We can solve the problems of energy, hunger, disease. All of these things can be solved. It used to be that it would require millions of dollars to start a technology company. Now it costs hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. Really what you need is a place to live and some food to eat. And you can buy sensors to automate agriculture. You can buy sensors to now build health monitors. You can take advantage of AI tools on the web to analyze data. The science fiction that we dreamed about has become possible right now. And any of the people in this room can do it. Entrepreneurs can now transform humanity like we dreamed about before. This is where we're headed. If we don't blow ourselves up in the meantime, and if we stay on track. And this is why, like I said, I give so many talks encouraging people to use technology for the good, because this future is happening. People don't believe it. People still think that just because we didn't have Rosie, we didn't have robots when we were young, to now, these things won't happen. They're wrong. We're on this exponential curve. We're at the curve right now where everything is happening at light speed. The next 10 years will be more amazing than the last 10 years. We will start solving the grand challenges of humanity. So use this technology for good is my message to all of you. Thank you.
Education is all about good citizenship. It's about learning how to learn. Stars who bought my work were like, no thank you. And I had to ask myself, what defines success? I was making close to $1 million a year as a 21-year-old, and now I was left with almost nothing. And so I came to the United States with my baby dog to start life again. And I asked myself, am I an artist? Am I defined by my success? By the amount of money I make, who collects my art, how well I can paint? But something very peculiar happened. I was invited to speak from the past to the future. I see the future moving close towards me because I am the point of view of time. And if I had neuroscientists to build my art in a different way, in fact, I worked with musicians to do an entire opera based on brain waves. And this is the first time I could bring science in seconds. I bet all of you saw something that looked like this. But the truth is all of these are also triangles, but none of us bother to see the world like this. And if you had learned the triangle by only seeing many possibilities visually, you would have a much richer understanding, a whole new visual internet. We've started dating with pictures. We've started buying stuff with pictures. We've started even consuming news through pictures. Earlier you wanted to make a consumer happy, give them a faster speed, better memory, and they're happy. But Moore's law does not
take all the credit for all the good work that has been done, pat myself on the back, and thank you. Was the conference well done? Please line up. A little bit more. Let's move a little bit more to that side.
State of the world, and I said, wow, you can actually go to school and do that. And I decided quite early that the Full Court Press is in many ways a metaphor for life, it's a metaphor for business.
How much does Tim?
This is an unbelievable moment. It's a humbling moment. I'm so very excited. We're going to build the world's greatest arena for the world's greatest fans.
This is your team.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I was listening to the Voice of America, I was listening to the moon landing, and I was just blown away. I thought to myself, who are these people who were able to take a man, put him in a box, and send him 250,000 miles away to land on a rock flawlessly the very first time they tried? Who are these people? What brilliance, what vision, what courage, what perseverance, what imagination. This turned out to be a pivotal moment in my life because it was when I decided that I wanted to be one of them. It seemed like the hardware was always on time, always on budget, and the software never quite seemed to get there. So I came up with a very simple notion, why not do software like hardware is done? So if you look at a computer, if you take the top off your PC, if you look at a chip, the problem to be solved is broken into pieces, and the pieces are tied together by a backplane or a bus. So the big idea that I had was to create a software bus. And this was an idea that I've chased for most of my life. Now the very first client that I was able to get was Goldman Sachs. Keep the Kings in Sacramento. My initial reaction was, I live in the Bay Area, I love the Warriors, and why would I do this? He was very persuasive, and at some point it occurred to me that when I came to California, I had no money, so everything I had I owed to this country and to the state of California. And Sacramento is our state capital. Without a sports team, the city would really be starved of any kind of activity. It would rip the heart out of the city. And it goes back to Roman times with the